did it all secretly, creepily.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Even they don't let the international community know that he's going into Ukraine until they went in already, almost.
Yes, Master.
And what for anyway? The international community didn't do much until then. They knew already. They could see it, that he amassed the army at the border of Ukraine. What for if you don't want to go into invade?
Yes, Master.
And then just issue some threats and say this and that. So people think, oh, this is just Russia. Putin just threatens. They just use the border army array just to threaten people.
Yes, Master.
Not invading, not warring. Then when everybody did not expect, they went in just like that. Or maybe they didn't want to interfere. They just wait and see or whatever. Just judging by their reaction right now from the EU, from NATO, from America, for example, it looks like they didn't want to.
Right, Master.
They knew, but they did not want to do anything. As I told you already, all kinds of excuses. So now many Russians are so shocked. They say, we didn't know that. And they went on the street to protest, thousands of them, many. Putin jailed them all. Then they went out again, different groups or something. Even all the Russian elites, children, they also all went out in some way. They protest the war. They're against the war in Ukraine.
Yes, Master.
And many of Putin's closest allies also now deserted him.
Oh, that's good.
Deserted him. Deserted Russia. Yeah. Well, that's bad for Russia, I think they should not because of Putin, then fall out with Russia. But now the Russian people suffer economically.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, Master.
Yes.
Many businesses closed, many things are refused, even airlines and all that. So now I don't know what Russia is going to do. Only the domestic planes continue. International flights have all stopped now.
Yes.
For example, like that. And even Turkey closed the waterway, so Russia cannot go in there. Russia has navy and ships and all that already ready in Crimea because they have water there also, you see?
Yes, Master.
And I think Putin has prepared some already. Oh, man. And now if NATO doesn't make the no-fly zone, then I don't know what to do with Ukraine. NATO, they say that if they put a no-fly zone, then if the Russian airplane comes in, NATO will have to shoot. But they didn't come in yet.
Right, Master.
Yeah, if you have a no-fly zone, maybe they don't want to come in because they know they will be bombed and they will die.
Yes.
Right,
The
Master.
airplane expensive will be shut down. So useless to go in. So why don't they use any means they have
Yes.
to help in easing the war? Because if you continue giving in, then you never know if Russia will use nuclear weapons anyway, just like he invaded Ukraine anyway, even though he doesn't have any excuse,
Yes.
Yes, correct, Master.
any logical, any true excuse. Even say Zelensky is a Nazi. A Jew, yeah? Yeah. Just like you would say, the fire is water, yeah? So it's all BS, Americans would say it's all BS. Any other questions? So you can go back to sleep
Yes, Master.
in the meditation hall. Almost time. Tell me.
Yes, Master. The Ukrainian soldiers are not spiritual practitioners, and they are not vegan.
Yeah.
They're just fighting for their country. So why does Master say that they are noble and worthy?
Yes, they are. Because their spirit of sacrifice for others is so strong. If a primary school student is excellent in his studies, then you have to also give him the best certificate, no?
Yes.
Yes.
That's true, Master.
And congratulate him, praise him, and say, good job.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Not compare him to the high school graduate.
Yes, that's true.
He's a primary student. He did the best job he could in his capacity. He's diligent, he's intelligent, he tried his best. And he's an excellent student for primary school.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Not because he's not in high school or not in college. You would say, it's nothing. It's small stuff. Wait until you go to college. And if you are good there, then we will say you are excellent.
Understand.
No, everyone, when they do their best, then they did their best. then they're good in their capacity.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Yeah, in their position, in their understanding. And even for that, maybe they are not spiritually high, but they sacrifice. Everybody values their life.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Everybody loves to live. And these young people, they willingly give up their life for someone else's life.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
That is excellent. That is very noble. So I just say the truth.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Understand.
Even if they're not vegan and they don't know much about the spiritual practice, but they still have such a noble character already. That's even better, even more worthy to be praised.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, because they did that just by nature, by their own natural tendency. Then that means that person is worthy of praise, truly has nobility in his being.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
I told you a long time ago about a Buddhist story. Sakyamuni Buddha once, he was in the heaven, a lower heaven, and the astral demons came up to fight his country. Remember?
Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
Master.
Then he went out to fight with them, even though he was a god. He was a king god in that domain. He fought with them, but then he lost. And then he ran back. He had to run away, to escape. But then suddenly there are some sentient beings making a nest or something in front of his road, on the road. To not kill these innocent beings, he hastily returned, going back to the battle, even though he knew it's dangerous.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
And by returning hastily like that, the enemy was pursuing him, suddenly saw him coming back fast. High heel, fast on his heel, and they all ran away. They thought, oh, it must be something, he must have something now, magical or something. So they all ran away from him, and he won the war.
Oh.
Wow.
So in that case, I cannot say that he's not ethical, huh? He had to fight the enemy because they wanted to harm his heavenly beings,
Yes, Master.
good beings, good heavenly citizens. But for the innocent ones, even just animal people, he had to run away to not harm them.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
So that is a different thing. So you see, his heart, his intention never wanted to kill or wage war against anybody. He had to defend his people.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
But when it comes to other lives, innocent bystander, he did not even want to protect his own life to trample upon them. So he'd rather go back and die in battle, even though he lost already. So it was a Buddha and a king god in some heavenly region. He still had to fight, not for himself, because if really he was afraid of death, then he wouldn't have returned to the battle. He could have just continued with his hard person and trample upon these small, helpless, little animal people, just to save his life.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
So when he had to fight, he fights. When he didn't have to save others, he also did not.
Yes, Master.
There's a difference between a noble being and a low-level, low-life being. You happy with that or not?
Yes, Master. Thank you.
I guess it's too early. I also don't formulate very well. But you understood, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
You understood the big difference, right?
Yes, Master.
Any other questions? Or anything that you forgot to ask or anything you want to comment?
Some new footage has emerged of Putin meeting with female flight attendants of Russia's airline,
Yeah,
Aeroflot,
yeah.
which is in stark contrast to other images we see of him with his closest allies having to sit so far away. The images of him are surrounded by about 20 females, like right next to him, and almost touching his hands and everything, which we never see. We see opposite pictures. So I'm wondering, why would he allow these females to get so close to him when he avoids close contact with others?
Because they're female. Men, they like females, no? Yeah, number one. Number two, just, new PR to distract people. PR, public relations, advertisement, propaganda, yeah? He does anything. This guy, you don't ever know what he does and what for.
Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what he does. He's this crazy man should be in asylum, I told you, to save himself
Yes.
and to save Russia and Ukraine.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
Master.
Oh, so you saw that, huh?
Yes.
It could be now or it could be another photo a long time ago. Could
Yeah,
be,
yes,
you know?
Yes, that's true.
If it doesn't say what day, you never know when that photos were taken.
Yes.
Besides, mostly they already vaccinated, yeah? And before they go on the airplane to work as stewardess and all that, they're checked again and again.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
So he feels it's safer with them. Perhaps if that is what's taken recently. Otherwise, how can you explain anything a crazy man does?
Yes, exactly.
Right, Master.
Or a demonically possessed entity?
Yes, exactly.
But the world is all topsy-turvy anyway. Oh, my God.